Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Test. Check. Check. 1, 2. Check. Test. 1, 2. 2. Asparagus. Asparagus. Test. 1. Falafel. Help. Help. Alexa, what's the weather?
Right now in Glendale, it's 104 degrees Fahrenheit with partly sunny skies. Today's forecast has high temperatures, with a high of 106 degrees and a low of 75 degrees. By the way, there's an excessive heat warning in effect until Wednesday, September 7th, 9 p.m.
Fuck. Hello everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making Henry's delicious, authentic, Canadian-style poutine, or poutine. Tyron the Third wants to make something called Angels on Horseback. And they must really want me to do it because they said it twice. But I'm not sure what Angels on Horseback is, but I'm going to look it up. That sounds like an interesting dish. I hope everybody's doing okay. As you might know, I had a bit of a scare with, it wasn't COVID, but... Sorry, I just need to fix something here. I don't know. I think it might be maybe my sound settings. Boy, this is awkward. I'm supposed to be able to hear those alerts when they come up, but I don't hear them right now. But anyway, it doesn't look like there's anything I can do about it. But I want to thank people for subscribing, especially Troll Gaming USA, Unravity, and Jesse resubscribed for 4 months. Thanks, Jesse. Okay, do you hear me okay? Help. Do you hear that? Help. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about poutine. This article, this is from wikipedia.com. This article is about the dish of French fries, cheese curds, and gravy. For the Acadian dish of boiled potato dumplings, see Poutine Rapey. For the president of Russia, see Vladimir Putin. So there's a E at the end of this one here, not to be confused with the Russian president. So poutine is a Quebecois dish. I don't know if we have some French Canadian friends out there, but they call it Quebecois, which is French Canadian. It's a dish of French fries, cheese curd, topped with brown gravy. It emerged in Quebec in the late 1950s in the Centre du Québec region. Sorry, there's a lot of bullshit here. I'm going to just skip. Okay, the history. The dish was created in the Centre du Québec area. I'd already said that, late 1950s. Several restaurants in the area claimed to be the originators of the dish, but no consensus exists. Sylvain Charlebois' book, Poutine Nation, published in 2021, so that's very recently, claims that while Warwick is the birthplace of poutine, Drummondville's Roy Jussop is the true inventor, since Leroy Jussop was the first to sell poutine with 3 combined ingredients in 1964. So with a lot of these foods, it gets really popular. Like when we did buffalo chicken cauliflower, once it becomes popular, all these people come out of the woodwork and start saying that they invented it. You know, my mom ordered cauliflower by accident, and so we've tried to figure out how to sell it. So we smothered it in hot sauce or whatever, and then we called it buffalo chicken wings or whatever. That there's always some origin story, but just know that a lot of those are bullshit. Wikipedia.com is the place you want to go to find the real answer for this stuff. And in this case, it doesn't look like there is one. Poutine was consumed in a small, greasy spoon diner, commonly known as Quebec as canteens or casse-croûte pubs at roadside chip wagons. I don't know. Anyway, poutine is delicious. It's mostly eaten by people when they're drunk late at night, going to a diner after enjoying themselves at a local pub or something like that. So, but we're going to make it. I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, which is a nightmare because we're in a heat wave here. And but you gotta, when you gotta make poutine, you gotta make poutine. See if you have any questions here. Toxic Yander says, I'm French, and honestly, your French accent is really good. Congrats, Chief Henry. Merci beaucoup to Toxic Yanders. Everyone type Forsen says, did you know that if Russia declared war on Quebec, it would be Putin versus Poutine? That's clever. I like that. And actually, it's historically accurate as well. Limpy says, where can I find your whiskey log recipe? I wish to surprise my mother. I have a version of the whiskey barrel recipe. It's not logs. It's barrels. And they're hollowed out. That's on my Patreon, if you want to check out the Patreon. You could subscribe for $1 and then you could just end it before the end of the month so you don't even get charged. That's just a little hack, but patreon.com/Henry's Kitchen would be the place to watch the new Whiskey Barrels video. And I also did a live version here on Twitch. I put way too much sugar in my coffee this morning, so I apologize if I wince every now and then. So X Matza says, can I make my poutine with carrot instead of potatoes? Yeah, if you're vegan, you can use carrot instead of potatoes. Let's see. Villain says, did you know that women from Russia say "Okay, Putin" when the foreplay is done? That's some trivia, apparently. I don't know much about Russian etiquette and traditions like that, but I assume that you do, so that's good. ACDC Young Fan says, is this a French exclusive dish or can I make it in America? You can make this anywhere you want. Basically, what you're going to need is to make your own French fries. Do not buy French fries some other place. That's really, really a big no-no in the kitchen. You want to make your own French fries with potatoes, or like Ex Matza was saying, you can make them out of carrots if you're vegan. But so you just need some potatoes, any kind of gravy. In this case, I have some McCormick's gravy powder that we're going to mix with hot water and turn it into gravy. Throw that over there, and then we're also going to use our cheese curds. I don't have cheese curds, but I have cheese, so we're going to cut them up into curds. If I add too much sugar to my coffee, can I add more coffee to it to even it out? That's this streamer has a big knob. Add more coffee? Well, I mean, I suppose you could, but then you're going to end up drinking more coffee than you expected to. Better to just go ahead and put up with the sugary coffee, I think. Yazab says, can I use McDonald's fries? No. Let McDonald's make their own poutine. You make your French fries with potatoes. That's just a really big part of cooking, you know? If you were just going out to eat and buying French fries, how would you feel about yourself? Purple Fireworks says, if you add salt to the coffee, will it counteract the sugar? That could happen, actually. If you do savory against the sweet, I think they do cancel out. But either way, guys, it's very hot here. So let's get started. Everything seems to be going pretty well with the world right now. We've got my cat roast beef chilling in the background. He's a little dehydrated, so I think he does that thing where he licks a lot, which is hope he's okay with that. But yeah, he's chilling and looking good. We also have here, this is what we're going to be making today. This is Poutine. And this is, or Poutine, I guess. It's got, as you can see, it's got the French fries homemade. It's got a little bit of that gravy on it and also some cheese curds. So let's just delve right into it. See if there's any other questions. It's Kate X says, I think that picture is photoshopped. Yeah, I will say, a lot of times if your food doesn't look like the stuff that's in the example, you can rest assured that they probably doctored the photo a little bit. So let's take a look at our ingredients. We have here 2 potatoes, cheese that we're going to make cheese curds from. Also our gravy, it's a simple powdered gravy. We're also going to need a very important ingredient, which is going to be our liquid fluid that we're going to use for our to make our French fries, because you have to have some kind of fluid or oil. Fluid, oil are the same thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and start by making French fries out of our potatoes. Okay. Fish with Legs says, if I don't have any cheese turds, can I use milk, cheese piss instead? No, it's cheese curds with a C. Curds. Okay, so we're going to make these into French fries. I don't like to use sharp objects in the kitchen, but this is about as sharp as I'm going to go. It's it's what you call a cutting knife. And we're just going to start by cutting it up into 4 sheets. There we go. You see how there's sort of like little plates, and right now you're probably saying like, how the fuck is this guy going to turn this into French fries? Well, if you watch for long enough, you're going to see. Boy, that doesn't want to cut through for some reason. These are very old potatoes, so that might be affecting the consistency of it a little bit. I don't want to cut myself. I might use, don't be afraid to use any kind of tools that you have at your disposal. It might look a little silly, but this is going to keep us from cutting our hand open. Okay, so I have multiple sheets of potatoes. You're going to do the same with the other one. By the way, we have some nice song requests that I received on the Discord that we'll be doing a little bit later while our French fries are cooking. It's a little bit hard to navigate the potato when you're wearing an oven mitt, but it's safety is number one. You know, if you go to the hospital and you've got your hand all bloodied up and the doctor asks you why, and you say it's because I was trying to navigate my potato, they're going to think you're an idiot. They're going to be like, why didn't you use an oven mitt? Okay, so we have a little bit of a problem where we've got a small fucking cutting board. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing. And let's throw them on here. That's much better. Now we're going to start cutting these into fries. So I'm sure you've had French fries before. You know what the shape is. Basically, we're going to take one of our sheets like this, and we're going to cut it probably about 4 French fries per sheet, like so. If you're doing this at home, you should have a potato in front of you along with a knife and maybe a cooking sheet. Yeah, these are good looking fries. You can make fries at home. You actually never need to go to McDonald's to buy them. I mean, granted, McDonald's fries are better, and when it's all said and done, it's probably going to take a lot less time and energy, and you'll probably feel healthier, and it's cheaper, but you can just make them at home. So we're going to have quite a few fries here. Oh, I don't know if there were some people that were very concerned about my sinus infection. Actually, nobody was, but I want to tell you that an update, and that's that it's pretty much gone at this point. I took an antibiotic. For a long time, I thought it was COVID, but I took 2 COVID tests, and it came up negative. So this was just a regular old sinus infection thing, but it was a real drag. You know, during these times, nobody wants to talk to you if you got a bunch of snot coming out of your nose. I don't think anybody really wanted to talk to you before the pandemic either in that case, but all right, this one's too thin, so we're probably going to reject this, and that's okay. You want good sturdy fries. Some of these I cut a little too thin, so let's get rid of that and cut just a slightly different size fries. There's nothing wrong with eating a French fry that looks like that. that's part of the homemade, is it has its own sort of unique shape. No two French fries are going to be the same shape. Or if they were, it would be astronomically unlikely. Okay. So if you're doing this at home, hopefully your French fries are coming out. Obviously they're not going to be as perfect as what I'm doing here, but hopefully they have a semblance of French fries. If you do not have something in front of you that looks like French fries, you need to go back in the video and try to figure out what you fucked up, because we're not very far into it, and this is pretty much where we're at with it. Okay, so here's this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tin foil down underneath this. I probably should have put tin foil down underneath before, because this is pretty filthy. But that's okay. When you cook anything, it's gonna eventually cook out all the bad stuff. So unless it's plastic or tin foil or something like that, there's really nothing that you can eat in the kitchen that you prepare that's going to be harmful to you. Although there is a theory that my sinus infection was caused by an amoeba that went into my nose while I was making my weenie bites. Okay, let's go ahead and add some oil to this. Drizzle in a zigzag formation. And now we're going to add a little bit of seasonings. This is a time when you're making French fries, this is a time to have fun with it. I've got my salt, a little bit of pepper. I think I'm also going to add some cumin. And then I've got some stoked paprika. And this is going to give you a little bit of spice. Check. Help. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of salt over this, like so, as well as the pepper. I'm going to let you see some of this here. Add some cumin and stoked paprika, which is actually becoming one of my favorite spices. And then we just want to mix them all up with our hands. All right. Cooking at home always reminds me of my childhood. I remember one time when I was a kid, my friend Jason and I were trying to start a band, and we wanted to buy some new equipment, so we kept taking money and putting it in a shoebox. And then after about a year, we had saved up some pretty good money, but then we noticed that it was missing, and it turns out later that his sister, I guess, used it. She stole it. So we were pissed off. But there was a lot of revenge after that, but that I don't want to go into. But all right, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. I'm glad the store made gnocchis. That's hackling. I accidentally made gnocchis instead of fries. It's a very easy mistake. It's very common. I'm glad the store didn't scam you with yams this time. Yeah, thanks Sholto Unworth. That was really messed up. I haven't been back to that store since. Labrat, have you considered using spoons instead of having to pre-dull knives every time you cook? I'll go as far as using a butter knife, but in this case, because of the purposes of the video, if you put an oven mitt on, it's going to be almost impossible for you to cut yourself in any significant way. Wow, Jesse just gifted 10 subs. Thank you very much, Jesse. That's some nasty coffee. You know, it's ironic, as if it was ice cream or something, I'd probably think it was good. But, What the Duck says, can I get a salad with only tomatoes? Oh, okay. I think that's a reference to the other night we played a game called Plate Up with Style Cramps, who has a podcast, and that was a pretty fun time. Okay, let's see what's happening here. It's time to put these in our extremely hot oven. So let's do that now. And we'll set the timer. Alexa, set the timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
Meanwhile, let's go ahead and start working with our gravy situation. You want to do this according to the packet instructions. So I have here a pot, and on the directions it says, in a saucepan you want to mix 1 cup of water with the packet contents until it's completely dissolved. Cook over medium heat, stirring occasionally. Okay, we're starting to get flies in here, which actually is a good thing. Because I've always said, if you don't have flies coming around trying to eat your food, you got to ask yourself what kind of food you're making. You should also have neighbors coming over and asking if you're cooking, which happens to me quite a bit. I can't find my cup thing, so I'm just going to use, I don't have 1 cup, but I have 2 half cups that I'm going to pour water into. I don't know where this kind of stuff goes. There we go. Gonna consort with the directions again. Says here, mix 1 cup water with the packet contents until completely dissolved. Cook over medium heat, stirring occasionally until mixture comes to a boil. Till mixture comes to a boil, reduce the heat and simmer 1 minute or until desired consistency is reached. Remove from here and serve. Remove from heat and serve. Okay, so it sounds like they want us to cook over medium heat. There is a medium setting on this thing. So let's put start and cook over medium heat and then stir occasionally until mixture. Oh, okay, so then you want to put the contents in there as well. So this is going to be our gravy. One thing that's pretty cool about Poutine is that you can decide what type of gravy that you're using for different flavors. So you could use a white gravy or a brown gravy, or maybe even like a mushroom gravy or a carrot gravy, or pretty much, you know, this is your time to be creative. So I think it says we're supposed to stir this a little bit. Fortunately, I have a stir right here. Yeah, that's looking like gravy, I'd say. We've got gravy. We've got gravy. Okay, so while that's going, let's take a little look ahead, see what our next order of business is going to be. We've got to throw away our excess potato shit there. And wow, this started boiling really fast. It says medium heat though, so it's very smoky too, and it's kind of doesn't smell very good for some reason. But let's stop this. The stop button is fucking broken. Of all the buttons, it's like impossible to stop. I always have to unplug it, but it's dangerous because I see sparks. I got this thing at the Goodwill. I think that would work. I'm gonna unplug it. Alright, that gravy thing happened real fast. And not very well. I'm going to stir it up a little more because I see chunks. But okay, so that's smoothened out a little bit there. Alright, there's our gravy. We're going to set that aside. Be careful when you're grabbing this thing because it's going to be very hot. Okay. Now, we have French fries in the oven. If you just joined us, we're making Henry's delicious Canadian style authentic poutine or Poutine, I think it's pronounced, but what we've done so far is that we've made our French fries from scratch with some potatoes, put a little bit of cumin and stoked paprika and salt and pepper, just the basic spices over it, and we made our gravy. Next order of business is that we're going to get into our cheese curds. So let's start preparing our cheese curds. So curds basically just is the name of the shape of it. So I've got this is called a block of cheese, but we're gonna cut it into curds. So they're just basically like little squares. A little bit like how we did our French fries. Okay. There's that. You know, I was thinking it's interesting because every time a celebrity dies, the news story always says something like, the night before, he complained of not feeling very well and went back to his room. And that terrifies me because I think every single night I complain about not feeling very well and then I go to my room. So I'm always worried I'm going to die. Okay, so these are a little big. I'm going to cut them. I'm going to double up on the cut. Okay. Now, I don't want people to mistake this dish with being from France. It's actually from French Canadian, which is very different. They speak the same language, but it's a different part of the world. Okay, so there's our cheese curds. Those are going to go nicely on top of our dish. Okay, so what we have now is we have potatoes that have turned into fries that are cooking. Alexa, how much time left on the timer?
You have 11 minutes left on your 20-minute timer.
And then we've got our cheese curds, and we've got some hot gravy. I'm going to see if you have any questions, because we have about 10 minutes. This might be a good time to do a song. Let's see here. Big Boy 250 says, can I use the whiskey barrels to the neighbors go? Oh, sorry. I started reading one comment and then it flipped up and I started reading the other comment and so I combined it into nonsense. Sorry about that. Big Boy 250 says, "Can I use tomatoes if I don't have potatoes?" I would suppose so. They're similar sounding terms. Jesse says, "How did handing out the whiskey barrels to the neighbors go?" Um, I made my whiskey barrels and I put them anonymously as little plates in front of my neighbors' dishes. I never heard anything about it. I just sort of assumed they probably enjoyed it. It was chocolate. Like somebody said, they were sort of like chocolate logs. And I just put them on a plate and tried to make them look nice. And I think it's nice to do it anonymously because that way, you're not taking credit. It's just all about the gift of giving. X Mutza X says not paper bags on their doormats. Yeah, that would have been a good idea. I could have put them in the paper bags. Prince Kenry says, "I can't figure out how to do this recipe since I don't have Alexa." Are you an oatmeal in the morning kind of guy? I do like oatmeal. I think oatmeal's great. Can I eat this dish even though I'm not Canadian? That's Ball Stretcher 3776. Yeah, this dish is for everybody. It's the French Canadian or the Quebecois gift to the international culinary community. It's wonderful. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of songs here since we have a little bit of time. I've always said that when you're in the kitchen, you have to have something that you do that makes you feel like you're passing the time in a productive way or at least in a relaxing way. And we have a couple of songs here. Why don't I start with this song that was requested on the Discord by someone named Che Fun. Che Fun requested this song. It's an oldie but a goodie from a band called Deep Purple. I'm going to do the best I can with it. It's a pretty heavy rocker, but and I'm not usually a rock guy. I'm a little bit more of a kind of a soft pop kind of guy, but I'm going to do this the best I can. Nobody gonna take my car, I'm gonna race it to the ground. Nobody gonna beat my car, I'm gonna break the speed of sound. Oh, it's a killing machine, it's got everything. Like driving power, big fat tires and everything. I want it, I need it, I love it. I need it, I love it. Oh yeah, alright, I'm a highway star. Nobody gonna take my girl, I'm gonna keep her to the end. Nobody gonna have my girl, she stays close on every bend. Oh, she's a killing machine, she's got everything. Like a moving mouse, body controlling everything. I want it, I need it, I love it. I want it, I need it. Oh yeah, alright, I'm a highway star. That's called, thanks. Hook Gangbang says, "Good recovery, Henry." Yeah, that's a tough one. The hard part is this. Oh yeah, alright. I'm a highway star. That's pretty complicated harmony stuff. Also, I have a little bit of mucus in my throat, which is causing some raspiness, which some people think is attractive, but in this case, it's making it hard for me to breathe. Cookie Munster says, spit in my mouth. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and do this next song here. This is a very nice song that was, again, recommended on the Discord by somebody named Jay Julix. And I don't know much about it other than that it's, I guess it's from a game called Cargo Commander. And it's kind of a dark song, but it's called Down the Drain. It's a cold, dark night in October as I wander till the morning light. I don't mind it's getting colder because my whole life is October night. Down the drain we'll go. That is all that we know, into the great unknown. That is all we know, that we know. It's a good message. It's a long walk if you can't find your way home. And I know 'cause I ain't got none. I'm warm though it's cold, but there's no one to hold as I wander on my own. Down the drain we'll go. That is all that we know, into the great unknown. That is all we know, and then it gets really dark here. I met a gorgeous girl. She said, take me home. Then she broke my heart back home. Down the drain we'll go. That is all we know, into the great unknown. That is all we know, that we know. It sounds to me like he's talking about death as a result of being dumped by a girl, which is what most songs are about, actually. But Alexa, how much time is left on the timer?
You have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on your 20-minute timer.
Okay. Well, I think we could probably get away with doing one more song. Why don't I do one from the Jose Suicidio collection here? This is a song. There's something broken inside of me, something no one else can see. Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something wrong with me. I try to reach out to my family. They say they don't have time for me. I try to reach out to my friends, but I just get voicemail. Every day used to be such possibility. Now every road that I take leads to sadness and despair. I put some pizza in the microwave, thought about it for several days. When I found it, I just threw it away. I think there's something wrong with me. All the kids in the neighborhood tell me I don't look so good. How I could change it if I could, but I just can't seem to. I try to watch TV, it only frightens me. Everyone's fighting in the streets all the time. Maybe we could do a little bit of a cut here to I think there's something broken inside of me, something no one else can see. Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something, Alexa, stop, wrong with me. Some depressing songs here for Sunday afternoon. It's a 3-day weekend here in the United States, which always brings out the depression in me, especially in the blistering heat. But that said, if I know that sound, it means that our potatoes are ready. Let's see what we've got. Oh yeah. I'm gonna use my roast beef, whatever that thing is. Wow, that's very hot. It's even coming through the oven mitt. But this is actually, it's very hot, but I think it's kind of working here. So let's see what's going on. And poutine is one of these things that's supposed to look kind of messy. So again, if we're going for, I mean, that's a particularly clean one, and I don't know if I'm going to have the garnish, but why don't we do this while the potatoes are very hot? Maybe we can start assembling sort of a kind of a makeshift assembly line, if you will. I'm going to put this over our gravy, which I should have done before, actually. We're going to start making poutine bowls. So what I'm going to need to do here is let's go ahead and widen this out a little bit so you can see more of what's going on. I've got a bowl here. We've got another bowl. I'm trying to remember exactly how they do this. I think it's actually not a bowl, it's a plate. We're gonna have a plate. Let's have several plates. 3 plates. We've got our cheese curds. I think I need more counter space. Cheese curds and our gravy over here. And let's start making poutine plates, guys. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit so that we can see. There we go. Well, I got to get the gravy in there. Okay, so basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to grab a paper towel. As you can see, I have a makeshift assembly line. Assembly line means I'm going to be assembling something so that by the time that we get to the end, we've created something. It was invented by Henry Ford to make automobiles. So let's grab some potatoes. I'm sorry, French fries at this point. Maybe a little mushier than I like, but that's okay. I can really, well, this is unfortunate. It's like they're stuck to the tin foil. Fuck. Okay. We're going to probably need these to cool down a little bit. Do some scraping here. Try not to get any tin foil on whatever you're putting on your plate, because tin foil is not something that you want to be ingesting. If you think a sinus infection is bad, wait till you got a stomach full of tin, or I guess aluminum is what they call it now. Tin foil isn't politically correct anymore, apparently. But okay. There we have it. If you're making these at home, I hope yours are coming out as good as these. You know what I might do next time is put a little bit of grease on that tin foil ahead of time so that you have, so you don't have this sticking to the tin foil situation. But these are coming off okay. I just don't like to mess around with the possibility of having tin foil stuck to any of these. But you'll be able to see it real clearly because it'll be silver, which is not the color of any kind of food, much less French fries. If you do make French fries at home and you want to share what yours look like, the Discord is a great place to do that. Henry's Kitchen Discord, that's where we do the song requests, and that's where I post all the ingredients for the recipes the night before. Alright, this is going way too slow. I'm just going to start doing them with my hands. It's very hot, but that's okay. And you know what? Every plate doesn't have to be full. But there we go. Okay, we're done with that part of it. I'm going to grab another my pot holder. And now we're going to add to our bowls here. I didn't realize this bowl on the right is much bigger, but we're going to go ahead and add our gravy. Well, that sure doesn't seem to be pouring. I'm not sure why. I would have expected it to be more of a pouring situation, but maybe it sort of curdled over or something. Alright, so if you leave it long enough, it might kind of curdle up. But that's okay, it's still gravy. It's still going to have that tasty flavor. This is going to be a delicious snack for me to enjoy on this 3-day weekend with my cat. Let's see here. You want to try to get them even. If there's any Canadians out there, please let me know if I'm doing something wrong. I always like to learn. Even a guy like me who's been teaching for a very long time, you never stop learning, really. Okay. Let us now top the whole thing off with our cheese curds. These are going to be delicious. Okay, there we go. Let's get a nice close shot of this. This is called Poutine in French, Canadian, or Poutine in American. And it's a French delicacy, mostly eaten while people are inebriated after going to a pub, because it's what you call a comfort food. And if anybody wants to know the definition of a comfort food, it's a food that's very high in calories but low in nutritional value, but makes you feel comfortable with yourself after eating it. For a little while anyway. After a little while, it does get kind of uncomfortable. Orange Bro 1 says, I hate getting gravy stains on my clothing. The fact that your gravy is actually one cohesive mass makes life so much easier. Yeah, that did kind of work out, because usually I'm wiping my hands all over the place, but the gravy was very tight, and it made it easy. What do we have here? It looks like Dynamite Stick 17 says, I used my blood instead of gravy packet. Ooh. It looks like the same consistency. Yeah. This one particularly came out pretty coagulated, I guess would be the word. Zakudam says, 3 plates. Are you having some lovely guests over? No, 2 of these plates are going to go into the fridge that I'm going to use for leftovers and eat throughout the week. That reminds me of an announcement. I have to announce something. I want to thank everybody for the incredible support that I've had here on Henry's Kitchen. And for the first time on Wednesday, I will be doing a sponsored podcast. I was approached by a meal prep company, and I will be doing a broadcast that will be completely sponsored by the company. And I have you to thank for that. This whole journey has been, it's been like Mount Everest, to be honest with you. And this is probably as good a time as any to thank some of the people who have enabled Henry's Kitchen to exist here on Twitch. I want to thank the moderators: Dingo Bop, Fawcan, Dom Beef, Hottest Bear, Do Dingle, Dogoggy, Dr. Flanges, maybe Dr. Flanges, Bacchus. And I also want to thank my pals, my new pals, Bumble Vision, the LGX, Sir Doom, and Daisy Blossom. I also want to thank Melon95 and Pilskman for coming forward. And I always want to thank Nim, who is the one who got me here, talked me into getting on Twitch and starting my own channel. Thank you, Nim. And also various other people who are influential, who have shared the Henry's Kitchen videos. Brian W. Foster, Forson, Moon, XQC, and Emaru. It was really exciting for me to see that people were coming to the YouTube channel saying, I heard about this from these people. And I've been cooking now for probably 8 years now, and I've been teaching it for 11 years. So it's been a real journey, and I've had a lot of wonderful people come forward. Oh, I almost forgot, one of the most important people to this whole operation is Quanto. Quanto is a Twitch user, not a user of drugs, although I'm not sure about that, but it doesn't matter. I'm not a guy who judges people for anything that they do, but Quanto made these wonderful transitions that made me feel at home here on Henry's Kitchen, and I just think that's fantastic. And he's also helped me out with a lot of other things. So thanks, Quanto. And now it's time for the fun part, and that's to eat our food. So let's just take a look at what we have here. We have some poutine. That's actually that's the model dish. Now they have something green in there in the middle, which actually I think ours kind of came out better. I don't want to put them down or whatever, but I think ours is a little more, I don't know, tight. Maybe we could swish it around a little bit and get a little bit more of that kind of messy comfort food, late night pub grub sort of a feel. You can see some of that cheese is melting, which is nice. But there we have it. That's our cheese. Our Poutine. And now we're going to eat it. Yeah. This is good, guys. This is a great dish. I don't think it's very difficult. I'm going to have the cheese by itself. It's going to be hard for you to get the cheese on top of the French fries. But I can taste the gravy. It came out good. What can I say? I think this is a success. And again, if you're at home trying to make these and yours don't come out as perfect as these, you know, maybe cooking is just not your thing. You know, maybe you're more of a sports person, or maybe you could play the clarinet or something. There's all kinds of things you can do in life to pass the time while you're waiting to die. 556i says, is this low in cholesterol? No. Very important. This has a high amount of saturated fat because of the cheese and the oil, and also the gravy. So not at all is it low in cholesterol. In fact, it's not healthy. Jamie638 says, how do you keep finding new ways to improve after all these years of experience? I don't know, but this one, I think I kind of outdid myself on this. I'm going to really enjoy this. Especially the cheese. It's pretty delicious. Just by itself. I'm actually trying to avoid the gravy. Not so much because it tastes bad, but it's kind of a gelatinous consistency, which makes me nervous. But that's what the Canadians eat when they're done with the bar. Maybe they struck out and they're spending the night alone tonight, and they're compensating by filling themselves up with some high-calorie food, which is what happens a lot. Let's see here. Raziel's Lament says, could I get an amoeba from this dish? I'm becoming a hypochondriac. Yeah, no, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying. Every now and then, if you breathe in the wrong way during a time where there's high bacteria in the air, you can breathe. I don't know if a amoeba is a bacteria or maybe just a unicellular organism, but it can go up in your nose you got to get doctors to remove it. It's usually the size of a baseball, this mass of the amoeba reproducing. And I don't think I have that. I hope I don't. It's been about 2 weeks now that I've had this sinus infection, so I think by now I would probably know. Hilbert Hotel says, do I need to stop breathing then? Yeah, I mean, that would do it, but, you know, you still have to breathe a little bit. All right. Galactic Hot Sauce says, looking good, King Henry. Thank you. I'm looking better. I mean, I definitely have had quite a couple of weeks. We were making shitty food, and also I had a sinus infection, but as the song goes, I can see clearly now that the rain has gone. And no pun intended, we're actually in a historically long 30-year drought here in Southern California, unfortunately. But anyway, I'm going to have a little bit more cheese. And now that we've got our snacks in front of us, what better thing to do than to maybe do a little bit of Kitchen Simulator. Kitchen Simulator is a video game. I'm going to rely on chat here to let me know that everything's working from a technical standpoint. Well, hold on. I'm going to first have to pull up the game here, which, if you're not familiar, somebody on the Discord, and I think it might have been Maybay something, requested that I play Cooking Simulator, which is almost exactly like real cooking, except for the fact that you don't have real food in front of you, but it teaches you how to cook. Maybay support. Thank you, Bacchus. Maybay support recommended Cooking Simulator. And that's what I'm going to play right now. So let's get into it. It opens with a song which I think is a rip-off of Bruce Springsteen's song. No, I'm a liar. I'm on fire. Or whatever. I'm on fire. Do you guys hear that okay? Okay. Okay. Let's do a new game. And we're going to go to sandbox mode, which means that we get to just sort of play. Okay. It's going to take a little while. Okay, so you can see I'm in a kitchen here. It's a very fancy kitchen. And grab my keyboard. And it's ours. In this mode, you can just kind of go fuck around. But there's actually some dishes. If you go over to the little office here, pull up a chair, sit down, and take a look. You've got, I don't know what all that shit is, but order manager. Let's go ahead and make some fried shrimp. And it'll give you the recipe. And we can order it up. There we go. One order of fried shrimp coming up. You can play a little bit of music. Oh, I don't know what that is. Nah, let's not do any music. Alright, so let's take a look at our recipe here. What we have is fried shrimp. It looks like we need to get a pan. Fortunately, there seems to be a pan right here. And we're going to add some butter, 30 milliliters. Alright, so let's get a pan and put it on the oven here. I'm still not very good at setting things down here, but Orange Brat says, how would you rate this kitchen in comparison to mine? Well, this one's bigger, obviously, but it's virtual, so they sort of can do anything that they want. Um, so what did I say? We needed butter. I got distracted. We need clarified butter, 30 milliliters. This is where everything is. That's the butter. So we're going to put that in our pan. How much was it? $30 milliliters. All right, that came out really fast. So let's set this down. Shit. I need to pour some extra in the trash. All right. I think I have to start over, but that's okay. We're in learning mode right now. What happened was there's a plane going by. We need to get another pan. Beer. That sounds good right now, actually. Where the fuck am I gonna get? Oh, here. Let's get. Maybe we can use this thing. Right. Sometimes it's hard to grab this stuff. All right. I'm gonna get that butter again. Oh, we don't have any more butter now because I broke the bottle. This sucks. Sorry. Do we have anything that we can use instead? I think you can use olive oil in place of butter, if I'm not mistaken. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to put 30 milliliters of butter into our pot here. And I'm going to be very careful this time because it pours out real quick. So we want to tilt this here. Okay, 31 milliliters. That's not bad. And I'm going to set this down gently over there. Let's see what our next order of business is here. We've got salt. We need 10 grams of salt. Here's where all the salt and shit is. 10 grams, no big deal. All right, next up, we need pepper. I'm going to try to memorize these. Black pepper, 10 grams. Shrimp, 120 grams. So black pepper. $10 grams, was it? Actually, maybe I'll rely on you guys. 10 grams, I believe, of the pepper. So we have equal amounts of pepper and salt. I don't know if they want me to put this stuff back, but, and then what was it, 120 grams? I think it was 120, I gotta go back, all right. Shrimp, 120 grams. So the shrimp is kept in one of these boxes. Products. Go down to shrimp. And you can buy. All right, I bought one shrimp. That's not going to do me a lot of good. I think I'm going to take the cutting board over here, and then I think you're supposed to be able to grab a lot more. Barrel of dark beer, what the hell? I guess you can't grab it. All right, let's set this down. I guess I can only grab one shrimp at a time. Has anybody played this? I don't want to just grab one shrimp every time. That's kind of silly. But I guess I'm going to do it. I'm probably going to grab about 6 shrimps. Sering says you can grab several shrimps by using both hands. Really? I don't know how to do that. I apologize. I'm not talking about it in real life. Alright, I think that's enough shrimp. Now I'm going to put it all on the cutting board. That I know how to do. Sorry, this must be like watching paint dry right now. I don't know why you can only grab one fucking shrimp every time. Alright, oh, 100. You know what? Let's just go ahead and grab one more. And I think we're going to be good with that. There we go. We got 120 grams of our shrimp. Let's put it in our pot. Still got a spill there. I think I only lost one, and then we've got this one that didn't quite go in there. All right, it's time to cook this bad boy. Seems like we got a little ways to go. Hacklin says playing games is only for kids. Do you agree? Yeah. Kobe saying, Bryant, you're already better than him at video games. Wow, that's cool because I think he's pretty good. The frying is a bit loud. Okay. Uh-oh. I think we bothered roast beef here. Alright, I think we're done. We need to get a plate. Let's go ahead and pour this. How do you do that now? Rotate it around and then we're almost done here. I guess these are too hot to pick up. Maybe we need an oven mitt. Did I lose one? I think it's under the plate. All right, we're gonna let that cool. Or maybe I can grab another pot. Oh, there's a cool thing down here. Maybe we can use this to scoop. Shit. I don't know how to grab these guys. I got one of them on there. Does anybody know if they have oven mitts in this kitchen? let's take a look around. They've got coffee, which is good to know. They got a dartboard. Photos. I guess that's some kind of recipe book. We don't need to mess with that. I guess we can call somebody for help. All right, I don't see any oven mitts, but I don't think I can grab this thing right now because it's too hot. So that's a drag. Oh. I'll bet I can buy an oven mitt here in utensils. There's pans, miscellaneous. The cookbook. Products. There's an oven mitt here. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and just see if it's cooled down a little bit here. Fuck. Oh, I see. Sorry, guys, that was an amateur move right there. Apparently you do it this way. It kept showing me a red hot hand, so I thought it meant that I wasn't able to pick it up. Okay, so we have here our shrimp, fried shrimp. Oh, it says that we also need some other garnish type stuff. Yeah, let me, I'm going to put some parsley leaves on it. I'm going to buy parsley. Do we get that here? No. Parsley. Parsnip. Okay, parsley. All right, there we have it. Let's throw that on there, make it look nice. Go over here and we have an order up. Oh, fuck. I gotta learn how to set things down. All right, I think I'm gonna stop for now. All of my progress will be lost. Yeah, I really want to save all that progress. Okay, so that's Cooking Simulator. It's a lot like being in the kitchen. Obviously, there's differences. There's a little bit of maneuvering, gaming type stuff that I need to figure out. I actually have ordered an Xbox controller and a couple of other gaming items. You have to understand, I haven't gamed since the 1980s, where I played Adventure on my Atari, and one of the kids in the neighborhood stole my Atari, and then that kind of ended my gaming career. But I'm trying to get back into it. On my Thursday night stream, I've decided I'm going to play a game called Stray that was also recommended on the Discord. Stray is from the perspective of a young cat, and my cat, Roast Beef, let's see if we can find out where he is right now. Let's see here. I just have to pull this camera up. Roast Beef is very old and frail, but here he is. How are you doing there, buddy? So Roast Beef, wow, I'm really winded from just that little bit of a walk. Roast Beef is very old, and this game is about a young cat that looks a lot like Roast Beef, who goes on an adventure because the post-apocalypse happens, and now the cat, Roast Beef, gets separated from his friends and has to find his way back. And it's a touching, heartwarming story. And I think that it's going to be very poignant because roast beef is nearing the end of his journey here on this plane that we call Earth. And he's about to go off into the next plane, wherever cats go. Probably some kind of cat purgatory or something. Depends on whether he was good or bad. I don't know how any of that works, but either way, Bacchus says, great stream, but honestly, the F words are too much. My mom says you're on thin ice for me. Oh, Bacchus, I'm very sorry. I'm going to address this because I do want to do streams that don't offend people, but I'm going to have to say that the kitchen is a very, very stressful place. There are a lot of very dangerous things that happen. You know, you can burn yourself, you can cut yourself, you know, you can publicly humiliate yourself. And sometimes language does happen. I try to keep it to a minimum, but every now and then an F word or a D word or an E word will show up, and I don't like it, but it happens. Right now, I'm drinking my favorite C word, which is coffee. Anyway, well, everybody, I want to thank you very much for joining me here, and thanks Bacchus for moderating as well, and to all the moderators: Dingo Bob, Fawcan, Dom Beef, Hottest Bear, Do Dingle, Dog Goggy, and Dr. Flanges. And thanks Quanto for all the great work that you've done, and thanks everybody on the Discord for making great recommendations. We set out to make poutine today, and I think we did it, and it came out really fucking great, you know. And that F word was actually for the purposes of exuberation, I guess. So I apologize for that too. Sorry. I think I've got a very wonderful lunch ahead of me today, which doesn't happen all the time. I just have to avoid that gelatinous gravy. But thanks again, everybody. And again, Wednesday is a whole new day. I'm going to be teaching a recipe. I might even do 2 recipes since it's going to be sponsored. And you can follow my Twitter and I'll be telling you more about that. But thanks everybody for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and or a great Monday, depending on where in the world that you are. Thanks everyone.